So, hello friends from Hundhjälpen. This is Sara talking from her office in Milan, from Save the Dogs office in Milan. I have been asked by Caroline and Linda to send this video message to you members of Hundhjälpen and supporters of Hundhjälpen and Swedish friends, because we are facing this very, very important moment. We are going to start Footprints of Joy, the new shelter in Černá in a couple of weeks. So it's a lot of questions coming up from Sweden, and it's much nicer to answer your questions directly from the video rather than just writing an article or posting something on Facebook. So I think it's a great idea to use this kind of medium to talk with you. So first of all, I have to thank all the volunteers traveling to Sweden and all those that support us through Hundhjälpen, because you are far and many of you have never been to Romania, and I can feel your trust and your friendship, which is so encouraging, especially when we go through very difficult times. In Černá at the moment, the dogs we have taken care of, we have neutered, are still caught and killed by the authorities. And believe me, going on with our projects, it's very difficult when you have to fight against so many enemies, especially from the authorities' side. And having you beside us and supporting us is giving a lot of strength. Most of the strength from that I have in running this project comes for sure from the animals, because the ones we save express all their gratitude and all their love, and the fantastic pictures that are posted on your website and on other websites of the foreign partners are really a psychotherapy for me and for all the members of the team of Save the Dogs, because that's the success of our work, of this teamwork, seeing these animals having their dignity back and having a real life, not a miserable life in Romania. So the strength comes from the satisfaction of seeing those animals saved, from seeing that people in Romania, some people are slowly changing their attitude. It's taking a very long time, but something is happening. We have been throwing many seeds, and these seeds now are giving their first, they're putting out the roots, and the first little plants and bushes are growing up, even if we are still at the beginning of a very, very long route. This month I'm not going to Romania. I'm going to stay in Milan for a couple of reasons. First of all, I've been traveling monthly to Romania since 2005, when I came back from my stay there, from my long time stay in Romania, and I'm extremely tired. It's difficult for me emotionally to face the fact that Černá is not a safe island anymore for our dogs. Dog catchers do appear weekly, suddenly in some neighborhoods, and we had to stop our catch and release program. We are just catching the pregnant dogs and catching sociable and friendly dogs that cannot be released. And of course we are neutering owned animals, and we go on with the sterilizations, but the nature of our project, which is a trap, neuter and release program, is actually on a standby because of this very narrow-minded approach from the local council. But nevertheless, we are focusing on the future. We are not letting ourselves destroyed or losing our hope for Černá and for the country. So while the work goes on in Medgidia as usual, we are going to start Footprints of Joy, which is probably the most important and the most structured program and project we had since 2002. We cannot define Footprints of Joy just like a new shelter. It's much more than this. It's a vision. It's a long-term project that makes the difference for, and will make the difference, is already making the difference for hundreds of animals, but will make the difference also for the people and for the mentality. As many of you already know, we have 50,000 square meters property on the hills far away from the Danube Delta, in a safe area, which is Save the Dogs property, a place where nobody will be able to kick us out. We already have more than 70 equines living there in peace, protected and looked after by our staff, thanks to the Donkey Sanctuary help regarding the donkeys, and to long distance sponsorships for the horses. But we have an area which is dedicated to the dogs that actually are in the old shelter of Cernavoda and that have to be moved on the new land. Why do we have to move? First of all, because the local council did not renew the contract with us. So we cannot stay there anymore. They have different plans for the area. They want us to go. And beside this, we also consider that location that has been the only option to start the work in Romania 10 years ago is not appropriate anymore. We need a better place and safe from the Danube, and in order to prevent future floods. So moving within the month of November, the dogs, leaving there just the clinic and a small yard in front of the clinic, but moving all the other paddocks with 300 dogs on the hills is mandatory. It's a real emergency. We don't like to shout SOS, because this is done by many people daily. We don't want to push people to help us just in an emotional way. I really would like you to understand the spirit of this project, which is in a way revolutionary, because it looks at the animals but it looks at the people. This place, Footprints of Joy, is going to be a meeting point for the new generations of Cernavoda, but of the whole area. Don't forget that we are placed at the end of the motorway. People going to the seaside have to stop there in order to get to the Black Sea. So this place can really become a place where children from school go and learn how to respect the environment, how to respect the animals, how to be responsible owners of dogs and cats, or owners of working animals. A place where they can have fun and can enjoy, but in a positive way, in a constructive way. It's going to be a place that shows to the authorities how animals should be handled, not some killing pounds, horrible places where animals live in misery and starve and are killed. Animals have rights, have a dignity, and we have the duty of offering them decent conditions before they are rehomed and replaced in a new family. It's going to be a symbol place for many other organizations. There are many new groups in Romania that are doing a great job. They are young, they don't have many resources, and they need models. They need to be inspired by the work that we are doing. And then we need also a place where vets, new graduated vets, will be able to learn how to neuter an animal, a cat, a dog, how to take care of small animals, because unfortunately Romanian university is still very much focused on big animals like pigs, like cows, and there is very much to do on the professional side in order to train vets for pet animals. So the first step has been creating a sanctuary for donkeys and horses and bringing electricity and water to this place. The second step is 2011, building the shelter for the dogs, and the third step will be having a brand new clinic, a modern clinic, a bigger one, where training can be performed, where many vets can visit from abroad, having a proper surgery room, and where we will have a proper quarantine and facilities for the dogs that will, before entering the other shelter, will have a place to be vaccinated and to be checked medically. Of course, there will be also an area dedicated to the cats, a cat shelter, and a place where visitors will be received and will be able to sleep and stay without going to the hotel. So this is going to happen hopefully in 3 years, 4 years, depending on the funding. We have no public funds, neither from Romania nor from Italy. We live on private funds from Italy, from Sweden, from Finland, from Switzerland, from Monte Carlo. So everything depends on the generosity of people like you. Some of the questions you have sent through Caroline concern the feelings that we have visiting killing pounds in Romania. I must be honest, I have visited a few of them during the past, and I have decided not to do it anymore to protect myself. I am not going to these places anymore because the emotional effect of these visits is absolutely negative. It's taking away all the positivity, and you cannot run such a project without keeping your enthusiasm and being optimistic. So even if it sounds very doesn't sound nice, but I tend to send my Romanian staff, which is stronger, to take the dogs from these places. And normally we don't even take dogs from these places because once they get there, they all get sick with very bad diseases, and the risk of infecting our dogs is extremely high. So except the cases when the dogs are taken from areas in Cernavoda that we know, and we know that these dogs had a chance of being adopted, otherwise we just try to move on and try not to focus on these terrible events, and we struggle to save as many as possible already on the street and already in our facilities. What about the future of stray dogs management in Romania? Everything depends on politicians. Everything depends on the government. If there will not be a national program which has to be managed by the authorities, by the health department, of course in cooperation with charities and with NGOs, because they don't have the know-how and they cannot offer the necessary guarantees of respecting the animals and of having the proper way of handling them. But it has to be a duty taken by the government. It's a matter of millions of strays in the Romanian country. Everything that has been done until now has been done by charities, by foreign groups, Romanian groups with their own resources. This is not acceptable. It has to be a duty coming of the authorities, of the government. We need a proper law. The former law that they are trying to change now and which has not been approved yet was a good law, because neuter and release is the first step before putting under control the phenomenon and then switching to another stage, which could be creating proper shelters all over the country. But this is not the moment. There are too many stray dogs in the street, and we need a law that enforces sterilization of owned dogs throughout the country. We need mandatory identification. We need a database, a microchipping system in order to identify all the owned dogs and the stray dogs. So we are talking about millions of euros that cannot be collected by charities like Save the Dogs or like Romanian Animal Rescue or or FIFRO, Forten, and other groups that are working very hard in Romania. Unless this political will will happen, will take place, there is no future, there is no hope, except for a small number of animals that will be lucky enough to be castrated and to improve their quality of life, not being caught by the dog catchers, and for those animals that can leave the country. But these actions, even if they are precious and they are important, they are not going to solve the problem at a national level. We can work locally, we can save hundreds, thousands of lives, but we cannot change the destiny of the whole country. And it's not only Save the Dogs that cannot do it. No organization has the financial strength to do so. This doesn't mean I'm negative. I know that this moment will arrive. I cannot tell when this moment will arrive. And our role means Save the Dogs, Hundhjälpen, and all the other groups that are active in a way or another in Romania can do a lot accelerating that moment, pushing the public audience, pushing the media, the politicians, lobbying politicians, pressing the EU in order to move on faster. But I know that this moment will come, even if I don't know if I will see it happening during my brief life. So how can I finish this dialogue with you, even if it's more a monologue, because it's me talking, and unfortunately you cannot talk to me the same way, but I will be very glad to receive more questions through Facebook or through Hundhjälpen if you would like to answer more. Footprints of Joy is a dream for me. It's something that I've been dreaming about for a long time. This is the moment. Now we have to send out a very important message. You are killing our dogs, but we move on. We're doing something that is going to be a model, and we are waiting for a new local council to understand our positive role for the community and for the territory, and hopefully there will be a positive collaboration with the mayor in the future and with the officials. So I really hope that you supporters of Hundhjälpen are going to help us to collect the funds that we still need to find. We're talking about 100,000 euro, 150,000 euro have been found already. 100,000 come from the taxes, a percentage of the taxes that the Italians can donate to their favorite charity. And we had 3,000 people in 2008 choosing Save the Dogs and giving us the 0.5% of the taxes they are yearly giving to the state. So these 100,000 euro will be used for the new shelter. We have another 50,000 euro more or less that have already been raised, and an important, a relevant part comes from Hundhjälpen, and I really want to thank you for this. It has been extremely precious, and you can see on the website that the name of Hundhjälpen is written on some of the enclosures where the dogs will live. But we need to collect another 100,000 euro. You can donate a small brick worth 10 euro. You can donate more. You can support for 1 year with a monthly donation the work in progress, and we will soon publish pictures of the works on the land. You can donate a small enclosure which is worth 2,000 euro, a mid-size one which is 4,000 euro, or a bigger 6,000 euro. Of course, you can collect this money with people you know, with your colleagues, with friends, and then send it to Hundhjälpen, and Hundhjälpen will forward it to Save the Dogs. I hope that the new shelter will be open next year, during next spring, and I hope that many guests from Sweden will be there to share a moment of joy and the second step of this important project. So thank you so much for being here beside us, and for trusting us, and for adopting our dogs. This is absolutely the most precious thing that Hundhjälpen is doing for us, rehoming successfully many dogs and changing their lives and giving hope to us that everything we are doing in Romania is not useless. It has an aim, and it has an outcome, an important outcome. And thank you for being part of this, because we are just a tool in your hands to bring relief and love and care to the animals. We are not heroes, we are normal people. All together, we are a huge community through many countries working for the same mission, and we are just the hand which is working in Romania on the ground through our Romanian staff to create this, to build this all together. So once again, thank you so much for being part of this. Bye.